Voice of emancipation, rising insecurity in Yorubaland. So this is the issue here now. Yoruba Nation is shouting, place for Yoruba Nation. Okay, insecurity in Yorubaland. They have killed 3 Obas, 1 in Kwara, 2 in Ekiti, and they are probably going to kill more. I tell you, the Fulanis have invaded everywhere in the southwest, and that is what they want, because only God knows the kind of agreement Tinubu has signed with them to become the president, or for him to get their support to be president. Okay, so now they have started asking for emancipation. This is serious. I never see anything. So when I think say the Fulani love anybody, they don't. They want to kill everybody and own Nigeria. When the late Obadiah Malafia, former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, gave his bombshell interview in 2020, alleging that there was a plot afoot in Nigeria of a Fulani jihad, many Yoruba leaders, especially the Obas, did not take it seriously. Why they didn't, I don't know. Whether because they didn't understand what he was saying, or that they just didn't care about his warnings. So that is my life. That was Malaifa. Malaifa himself was subsequently killed in mysterious circumstances within 1 year of that explosive interview. His prophecies have begun to come to pass. Malaifa, or Malafia, stated that the Fulani planned to begin their jihad around 2022, with the first stage involving elimination of the Obas in the hinterland, after which they will move to the cities. Since then, incidents have claimed the life of countless numbers of our Obas, including their first-class Obas, Oba Adegoke Adeusi, the Olufon of Ifon Kingdom, in November 2020, for example. Then in January 2024, the Fulani threatened to unleash mayhem in every part of Nigeria if the federal government failed to release Bello Bodijo. The president of Mieti Allah Kauta Hall, within 72 hours of their threat. True to their words, this week alone, they have attacked towns and villages in Ekiti, Kwara, and Kogi State, killing at least 3 Yoruba Obas and kidnapping their wives and other relatives. Now, if this affront on the Yoruba people cannot stir up Yoruba Obas, our Yoruba Obas, governors, and other prominent people into action, then I don't know what else need to happen to rouse them from their slumber. We Yoruba should make no mistake. We are at war, and the earlier we realize it, the better our chances of survival. So in their statement issued on 24th January 2024, Umar Amir Shehu and Salisu Amadu were explicit that their plan is to bring down the Nigerian government and burn down everything in Nigeria. We must not make the mistake of thinking that these are empty threats. These maniacs who have not built anything in their lives are therefore unashamedly ready to destroy what others have built. It is our responsibility not to let that happen. We cannot allow a full-scale war to break out in Nigeria. Yes, it may ultimately give us our Yoruba nation, but what sort of nation will be left? Okay, it will be appalling if we allow these marauders to dictate the direction of our separation. The battle for Yoruba nation is not merely for the self-determination activists alone. Until our politicians and royal fathers are striving toward the same goal, we will continue to go around in circles. When we get our Yoruba nation, we will have to share the same country with these present politicians, regardless of our feelings about them. Therefore, we need to develop strategies to work together to achieve Yoruba nation as a matter of urgency. This requires every Yoruba person to know that we need to organize ourselves very quickly to prevail over this oncoming jihad. We need to comb every part of our forest where these evil marauders are hibernating and flush them out. We must degrade their capabilities and send them back to Futajalon, where they are originally from. to ensure they never raise their ugly heads again in our land. This is not a suggestion, it is an action that is overdue. We either send these people out of our land and forest, or we allow them to send us out of our God-given land. The choice is ours. We need now to contribute to a special Yoruba fund and come up with one central command in which all Yoruba must rally behind, both home and abroad, to ensure victory is ascertained. This is not a time for bickering or dilly-dally. It is time for action, and our response must be swift and precise, directly on our enemies who plan to do us harm. When 3 American servicemen were killed in Jordan last week, America did not waste time to send retaliatory strike to several targets in Iraq and Syria. Therefore, we need not warn our enemies of our next move or wait for the world before we send out a strong deterrent. If we fail to respond in kind swiftly with the spate of killing by these evil marauders, then we are acquiescing to their wanton killing of our people. This cannot be left for the government that is directionless to handle. Every Yoruba person, both home and abroad, must band together now to save our people back home from these existential crises. Okay, we must act quickly, as time is of no essence, as a stitch in time, they say, saves 9. Now, if the majority of our obas and our people have taken the words of my Lafia seriously, then perhaps those obas and innocent people that have died this week would have been alive. We need not wait anymore before we start any retaliatory attack on those who attack our towns and villages. Our hunters and vigilantes must be fully equipped by us and fully prepared to defend our people and be ready to comb our forests and villages to ensure any threat to our civilization is extinguished once and for all. So who is writing this? This must be Yoruba Nation agitators writing this. I tell you the truth. So the truth now is that this Yoruba Nation agitator is coming out now to tell the Yorubas that it is time to fight. The Yoruba Nation must be actualized and must be actualized by oneness. And one key thing he said here, which is applicable not only to Yoruba Nation but also to any group of Nigerians working to succeed, is even when you break up Nigeria, we are still going to share our individual nations with these politicians that are causing us problems, that are directionless today. The Igbos have corrupt politicians. Yorubas have corrupt politicians. South have corrupt politicians. Middle Belt have corrupt politicians. The North is the worst. So when you divide the country, you are also going to go back to your own region or your own nation with those corrupt politicians. And if you don't solve the corruption problem now, there are still going to be the people determining how the new nations will go. And what kind of nation are you going to have with such people? So the best thing is to come together now and put things right prior to succeeding. That is it. The best thing is to put things right now. It is high time that things are put right. Okay? And some people are saying here, your Yorubas for long have always been in alliance with the Fulanis. They see Igbos as their biggest threat. But meanwhile, the Igbos have seen these things more than 50 years ago. Yorubas, due to their two-faced and unstable nature, refuse to heed to warnings, even till today. Now they are being consumed gradually by their pali, the Fulanis. Not be smart, I tell you. So the Yorubas should not be afraid of jihad because they are part and parcel of the present situation. Already they are all Muslims. The only fear is being enslaved by the supremacy of the conquerors. But then, of course, they have been in alliance. Yoruba Ronu, the only way out is to pull out of the colonialism. Let there be revolution period. Who is going to lead it? Yorubas are sleeping. The earlier we act now, the better. Igbos are the ones that have seen it coming. they are ready for them. Yorubas are doing, they have to do something. Was Obadiah right or just being subjectively apprehensive as a soccer priest? Eh? Is there really anything like Fulani jihad movement or agenda? Can you imagine? What we have on ground is more like a sophisticated banditry with bush foreign Fulanis being used as foot soldiers to execute political goals, shrouded or disguised with a ransom demand from which the Fulanis benefit little or nothing. We must shine our eyes to understand the undercurrent. Go and sleep. This must be a Fulani man trying to protect Fulani from this. The Fulanis are the cause of this problem and they must be nipped on the bud. Yoruba Obas and the politicians have betrayed the gods. As far as God lives, no one of them will go without punishment. Amen. And good example is the Oluwo of Iwo land. That one, I'm sure he should be shaking now because they will come for him very soon, having sold all Iwo land to the Fulanis. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment. That is what Yoruba Nation agitating group is saying.